Do not give up your music, all right? If you're feeling like quitting, it's probably for one of a certain number of reasons, and I'm going to talk about 4 of them. Stick with me and hopefully I can give you some other ways of thinking about this. It seems like everybody but you is doing well. They've got loads of gigs, they're doing recordings, they've got tracks coming out, they're going on tour, stuff like that, and you're doing nothing. For you, it is crickets. You've got some kind of like day job or like 9 to 5 thing going on, and you feel like you're not a proper musician, you're not professional, and you can't see any way of changing that. You feel like you're too old, you're too weird, or you don't fit in, so why bother? You're just going to throw in the towel. You're feeling burnt out, knackered, or something bad's just happened, like your band's split up, and you just can't see how you can carry on. How would I know about that? Well, the first time I gave up music, my band had been going for about 2 years, been going really good, got some fans, had some gigs, we just got signed by a small label, just put out a 12-inch vinyl as it was then, and then the drummer left.
You fucking left the fucking band! Jesus Christ.
So I was completely gutted, game over. And the thing with burnout, the best thing to do is just to have a rest. Just decide to take a little bit of time out and be like a doctor, actually give yourself some remedies. So after about 3 days of doing nothing or weeping into your pillow, whatever you have to do, just start to think about what it was that you actually love about music in the first place. Give yourself a bit of a detox, like no recording, no doing anything serious, just actually making some music for yourself. Do some experimental stuff, muck around in some genres you don't normally use, jam with your niece and nephews, try playing a new instrument, go and get some bagpipe lessons. Worst case scenario, you'll bring some new tricks back to your own music, and best case scenario, you will regain some of your music mojo and to be able to get back on a horse. If you're feeling too old or too weird, well, that's great, because it's much better to be odd than boring. There are some great role models of people who are very unconventional, who've made it really big. Embrace your difference and just get weirder. And with a day job, what's so wrong with a 9 to 5 anyway? You've got a steady income coming in, which means you've got a war chest. So you can book that recording studio, you can put a track out, you can pay for a bit of marketing, you can buy that gear. It's an excellent position to be in. It's like Philip Glass. He was a cab driver and he was a plumber, and he did that a long time into his career. He was already a famous composer and doing very prestigious gigs, and he was putting it in this dishwasher in this guy's house, and the guy recognised him. He said, "Aren't you Philip Glass?" And Philip Glass popped his head out from behind a machine and said, "Yeah." And he said, "But you're famous, you're an artist, what are you doing here?" And Philip Glass popped his head out and he said, "Yes, some of the time I'm an artist and some of the time I'm a plumber. So if you just let me finish up here, I'll be out your way." And Philip Glass said it made him very independent keeping that work going. So if I was you and I had a steady job, I'd be seeing if I could get down to 4 days a week, and I'd be spending most of the time while I was at work actually thinking about my music. I mean, don't tell your boss I said that. Feeling like everybody's doing better than you, that is probably a comparison problem, and it may well be because you've been on your socials a bit much. You have to remember that Instagram and TikTok are performative platforms, so their jammy music life may not be quite what it looks like. It's really important to self-validate. That's the only way forward, and you can only really be in competition with yourself. So rather than comparing yourself to other people, what you can do is you can develop yourself and you can acquire some new skills. Give yourself a bit of a music glow up. And also, if you actually clearly define the goals that you want to do, like you want to do a tour, you probably could actually book yourself a series of dates. A series of dates is actually a tour, even if the locations are quite close together. I said at the beginning, the first time I'd give up music, and I've given up music a few times, but music's never given me up. And I have to say right now, I'm probably at my happiest in terms of the music I'm making and the gigs that I'm doing. And I know a few people who've been very dramatic when they've given up music and they've actually sold all their gear. And what's happened is, a few months after, something's happened, like a track's blown up or a friend's rung up and said, "Let's go on tour," or something like that, and they have to buy back their gear. So don't let that be you. Just remember, music doesn't give you up so easily. So don't give up your music. All right? See you later.